Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another Rate the Transfer Rumour video. This is the video that rates the transfer rumour, and Daz is with me today. He's going to give a rating between 1 and 10 depending on the transfer. Some interesting ones here again, Daz. We'll start off with, actually I have something to say about Derry City because a lot of Derry City fans noticed this. I said that Depot had left the club, but actually it was Danny Mullen. So I was getting a little bit confused. So in case people are wondering, Derry City fans are not, Depot is actually still at Derry City. Mullen is gone. So just to get that away. First up, it's to do with Derry City and Bohemians. Ronan Boyce has 2 Bohemians. Now Ronan Boyce out of contract at Derry City. Hasn't been let go, as in hasn't been announced to be let go like many players, but also hasn't signed a contract yet. Played right wing back last season, but also Adam O'Reilly took his place for a part of the season there as well. He's a central midfielder. I'm just wondering, does Tiernan Lynch actually fancy Boyce? Bows are looking for a right back, Daz, as well. How do you see that one?
Yeah, that's actually quite an interesting one, and it's quite a logical one, I think, for both parties. Look, he didn't fancy him in the position, and he's been put in a midfielder and right back. Like that's not really good for your confidence. If someone in a position is keeping you out of the team, like the manager, he's just not fancying you. It's either that or tactically he's thinking Boise gives me maybe more going forward, whereas other players give me more going back, and he might be thinking of that. But if that's not the case, he's not overly fancying him. And
It's possible that Ronan is suited better to maybe a right back position as opposed to wing back. And obviously that's what Bows play a back for. And they are looking for a right back, I think. Bows need a
yeah,
right back, I
yeah,
suggest, would you?
or to do like I do like Moran, like I do, but he's
Mm.
a central midfielder at the end of the day. He was thrown into right back with balls for a full season. Like I used to drift in midfield when we had the ball. Yes, it worked out sometimes, but I think more times it didn't work out. I don't want to see us play that way next year. That's Barcelona. We're not Barcelona. Like, come on, like. But Ronan Boyce, he'd be looking for a move.
Alan Pep Reynolds.
Yeah, literally, like nah, like four. Keep it back four. Keep
I have to
he
say,
said you
I'm a
were.
big fan of overlapping fullbacks. I think,
Yeah, like
yeah,
bring it
all the
back,
old fashioned.
especially like Dale Rooney had the most crosses in the league, I think. Like get the balls into
He's
the
up there.
box. Like
Yeah,
what are you
yeah.
doing trying to put a right back in midfield? Like no, like don't be doing that. And
Play midfielder then.
no, like I've seen times when he moved up and there's a
Yeah.
huge space, and you're like, why are we still
Yeah.
doing
I
this?
remember
But
just to quickly there. I don't want to go too far off topic. Remember Paul Scholes said he was actually talking about inverted full backs and that, and he was saying if anyone when he was playing, if say Gary Neville for example was inverting into his position, he'd be saying, "Go away, you're in my space."
yeah, literally, yeah, he's right though. Like what are you doing? Like yes, at the top end of football, but not at Bose's level. No, like.
Mm.
But it's really anyway. That really bugs me, and I think people know that. But what I will say is we need a right back. I think Rowan Boyce is good enough to get into the Bows 11. I think he is more than good enough for a right back position. He will be going. I think he's got good enough experience. He's at a good age. He's good at putting the ball in. He's. I think his work rate is good. He's up and down. I think he fits a lot of. He ticks a lot of boxes I'd be looking for in a player, and I kind of want Bows to recruit from players in our league where possible
Hmm.
than going abroad. I think it's more sensible, and European football, why not? I want to put this reasonably high. I'm going to put it as a 7 out of 10. I think it's quite likely. I think if we're going to look at the other double teams in Europe, which obviously are Rovers, Bows, Shells, I don't think he gets into Rovers. Shells, probably not. Maybe, who knows?
Dales
But I
don't
think
need a right wing back.
they don't really need a right back anyway, so
Have to,
he's not gonna break in, and Balls need one. So
arguably.
it's reasonable. I think it's gonna happen. So 7 out of 10. I think he'd be a great signing if he goes to us.
Right, the Donegal man Ronan Boyce, the Bows 7 out of 10 says Daz. Next up is the goalkeeper. You're probably going to guess who this is. He's just left Bows
Ah,
recently.
JT.
Um, Two clubs actually looking at him at the moment. One of them's Galway United, but I'm going to mainly link him with Dundalk. The reason for that is that Dundalk, I know, have been actively looking for a goalkeeper. They inquired about Conor Kearns. Kearns still has a year left in his deal. Shelbourne is currently still injured. So I think they may have switched their attention here to James Talbot, who pretty much number 2 at Bows for a couple of seasons as well. Um, yeah, could be good experience for the Lily Whites. How would you see that one, Daz?
Yeah, look, I think JT has been a fantastic servant to Balls. He had nearly 200 appearances for the club. He was the stalwart of the team for years, and if you're a Balls fan like me, we don't have a bad thing to say about him. and
Not a
he can
Bottles
even.
fan, are you, Daz?
No, no. But yeah, he's a free agent. He's left the club. He'll be certainly looking to slot in as a number one goalkeeper. I think he's certainly good enough for a team outside the top three to be a number one in the Premier Division. He's probably not going to move out of Dublin, so I would rule Galway out for that. Like you said, Dundalk, I'm looking for a keeper.
As
I
are
don't think.
Galway, to be fair, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd go Galway, yeah, but
with
I
Clark gone.
don't think. I don't see Conor Kern leaving Shells. I really don't. I Dundalk, he is a commutable distance to Bohs,
Mm.
and obviously there, and I think he would be one of their better players should he go there, and I think he could really bring his form back and cement his position, and he could be one we regretted to let go.
He
And
does, from his point of view, Daz, though, in all honesty, he does really need to go out now and get first team football. Like, he hasn't
he's
been
too
playing
good.
first team
He's too
football
good for the
realistically in about
bench.
3 years, has he?
It is that. Sure, like at the time he wasn't supposed to even be out. It all happened, and then we brought in Casper, and no one knew who he was, and obviously he's turned out to be fantastic for us, and that kind of kept James out. And sure, we had Dennison as well at one stage, who went on to
Yeah.
being team of the year. Who would have seen that coming? But JT needs to move, and he needs to go somewhere he's going to play. He needs to stay in the Premier Division, but I don't see him really leaving the Dublin circle area. So I think Dundalk is quite high. And I think for all of them reasons, I'm going to put it as a 9 out of 10. I'll be pretty certain that's where he's going to go. I think he brings leadership in. I think he'll be a fan favourite there. I think he's everything they were looking for in a person and in a player. He just really fits the bill there. And I think it's a great move for him. And it's a great move for Dundalk. And if he goes there, best of luck to him. And I think that's one that's certainly going to happen.
So that's us, James Talbot to Lily White's 9 out of 10. Next up, we've got, this is a big one, I suppose, Podge Amond, 1 year left in his deal at Waterford,
Oh,
37 years of age. Shelbourne looking for a
yes.
striker. Shelbourne have inquired for some big players. They've inquired for Joe
Yeah.
Redmond, Dawson Devoy. Okay, they might have been impossible to get, but it shows what they're looking for. They're looking for a couple of guys, 2 or 3, I think, key players to just improve their starting 11 and then maybe kick on. Amond's 37 years of age, but he's still really, really good. He's a goal poacher. He's a very clever striker in around the box. His movement is excellent. How would you see him go to Shells? 1 year
Yeah.
left in his deal at Waterford, so a fee would have to be involved. How do you
Do you
see
know
him
what
going?
though?
Does he go?
Well, yeah. Well, firstly, what I would say about Shells is I think they have a really settled group, a really settled team. Damien Duff has spoken so highly about Joey O'Brien and what he's done with the players and all, how he's came in with,
Mm.
coming into a manager position with really no managerial experience. And Shells have, a settled team. They don't need massive changes. They need, like you said, 3 or 4 top individuals in each position. And I think if they can do top 3 or 4 players in each position, they will challenge next year.
Big time.
They're a fantastic group. They're a very hard team to play against. And they don't really need too many players. They don't need an overhaul. And that's quite rare to see in our league unless you're Shamrock Rovers.
Mm.
Every year you see 6, 7, 8 players off nearly every team going. Some big inquiries made, yeah, and I'm led to believe they have all been real, that they have made all of these inquiries, and they're only the ones that we know about. I'm sure there's ones around the league and abroad that we don't know about. There's obviously money there to spend, there's wages there to spend, and I think players would come in, they would go into that group, they would go to Shells, European football, Joey O'Brien, why wouldn't you? But in terms of Podge Amond, he has over 700 career appearances. Like that's huge. He has managed to stay injury free all of his career. He's scored goals everywhere he's went. And he was at the LOI Central podcast, and in the podcast he said he feels like he hasn't lost any fitness or pace since he was 30, and he's 37 now. And obviously he's still a year on his deal with Waterford. So how long is this
I think
lad
that
going to
helps, Daz, if you're the type of player that doesn't really rely on your pace. It helps you later on in your career if you're not a player that
does?
relies
Because
on your
you
pace.
want to adapt your game to kind
Yes,
of
as
see
much.
how you play.
Yeah,
Like we've all
100%.
seen players at the top end lose their pace and suddenly they're
And I
just
think what
not the
happens to
player they
some
were.
strikers like him, obviously there's others, but we're talking about him, when they're not really reliant on pace, they understand that, they need different ways of, they really focus on movement and moving into certain areas in around the box where they can find little pockets of space, basically, is what I was trying to say,
Yeah.
without thinking,
And
I need to
he's
get
such a
in
clever
behind the
player
back
as well.
line.
Like
What?
he's such a clever player as well. Like his
Very clever.
decisions.
I've watched him sometimes, and I'd literally be at the game in the flesh. I'd look at him just sometimes, which is hard sometimes because I'm trying to vlog a lot of the time. But if
Yeah,
I can't,
yeah,
I look at him for 3 or 4 minutes sometimes, and you're kind of going, he's switched on the whole time.
yeah, yeah. And I suppose it's worth pointing out too, the league's top scorer for a team who was involved in a relegation playoff.
Mhm.
Were most of the time with the back against the wall, defending for their lives, going on
Yeah,
streaks of games of losses and
yeah.
streaks of periods of possession in every game when they don't have the ball.
Mm.
And he's getting these minimal chances in games and converting them. Imagine what he could do in that Shelbourne team.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like having what's his name? That midfielder, I can't think of his name.
For
Playing for
shells.
Hull, what's his name again? Centre midfielder, really good. Oh my god, it's gonna kill me. Anyway, he was one of the leading assists for Shells. Harry Wood,
Oh,
that's the
for
one.
Hull, like you were confusing me
Yeah,
with the
yeah, yeah.
Hull thing. Sorry, Harry
No, no,
Wood.
actually,
Yeah, yeah.
I knew he
Sorry,
played in
yeah.
Hull. Yeah, yeah.
You lost me there with the Hull
Like,
thing. Yeah, Harry
like,
Wood, absolutely. I could link up
you
well with
know,
him. Yeah.
and he'll slot right into Chelsea. He'll be a starter. And why wouldn't he want to go there? Like, I don't think again geographically, I don't think you'd have to really move. Because he's obviously very settled with his family and situation, and he's just done his masters and stuff, and
Mm.
he's so he's looking to the future, and he does like playing with Waterford, and it'll be a huge blow for Waterford if he goes. Do you know what? Do you know what's a good talking point too? It's very difficult. It'd be interesting if people in the comments maybe discuss this or put below what you think. What would your transfer fee for him do you think it would be? Because I think this is going to be a league first if it happens, where someone has paid a fee for a 37-year-old player in the league. Someone paid a transfer fee in the same league. I don't.
I think it'd be a small fee though. If I was
No, yeah,
say
yeah, yeah, it would be. That's what I'm saying. It's very
yeah,
hard to see what it would be. It could
like
be in the region of 5 to 20
10,
grand.
10 maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, but or it could be what I think it might be is they
I
would
think if
pay.
he wants to go, I don't think Waterford will stand in his way too
No,
much. To be honest,
they
yeah,
couldn't. They couldn't.
I
To
don't
make it
think they
permanent
will.
happen. I think what will happen is they'll pay out the rest of his contract to Waterford and maybe 10 or 15K on top of it. I think
Mm,
that's a very fair fee for everyone
potentially,
involved.
yeah.
In terms of it happening, it's one I kind of expected to be brought up tonight because I seen
Have to be
it
brought up.
doing the rounds online, and I think short term excellent option. Ultimate pro, ultimate professional, a great person, a great leader. He's everything you'd want in your team, and anyone in the league would want him. And he's one of my favorite players, and I just think he would really fit that Shelbourne team. Or and he walks into any team in the league, any team he walks into. Even Shamrock Rovers he walks into, and like it's hard to with Rory Gaffney up front to be putting him back out, but he walks into anyone here, and I think he would go there. And do you know what? It's I'm going to put it quite high. I'm going to put it 8 out of 10. I think it's very likely to happen. Shells actively have money to play with. They're going to make an offer. Short term solution, absolutely. Who wouldn't want him? And he'd be a top player there for the Shells. I'd be buzzing to get him if I was a Shelbourne fan. That could be possibly deal of the season if he
It
goes there. I
could
think.
be very shrewd.
Like
Yeah.
if
Anyway,
he ends up being top scorer and puts Shells first or second place next season and bows out and
wonderful.
retires, then excellent job.
Yeah, and great for him because he'll win the league. But
Mhm.
yeah, that says Podge Amond to Shelbourne, 8 out of 10. Then the next one is Val Adedokun, who's a left back at Brentford. Previously at Dundalk, where he only played 7 matches. I remember him. It was back about 2020, 21, but I don't remember him, if you know what I mean. I don't remember much of him. He only played 7 games. He did play in that bit of pace about him, but at Brentford, on loan with Cheltenham, where he's played 15 games. Now, I'm not too sure if he's still on loan there at the moment, or if he's back at Brentford, or could that be cut? Now, the key thing here is two key things here I see in this one. Pat, well, three things actually. Number one, Pat's are definitely looking for a left back for sure. Number two, Stephen Kenny gave him his debut at Dundalk. Yes. And number three, Keith Andrews is the manager of Brentford. And Keith Andrews and Stephen Kenny have a very good relationship.
They're brilliant points, and they're ones I didn't know of, and I wouldn't have known of. And if only you said them now, I would put the rating a bit higher. I wasn't aware of any of these. Obviously with the Stephen Kenny one, you probably could have guessed that one if he was coming from the dock at that time, but
Yeah.
the rest of it, no. He's obviously not going to get in at Brentford. obviously.
Mm.
And if
Cheltenham are
his
in
loan,
League Two, in case people are
yeah,
wondering as well.
like if his loan spell in League Two is not really working out,
Mm.
he either goes to another League Two team or he drops down to the
Well,
Premier
he has
Division.
played 15 games. It's just I was trying to find out. I'm not too sure if he's back at Brentford or could that be agreed to be cut or whatever if he wanted to
Yeah,
come back and
yeah,
play for Pats, let's say. So I'm not too
like
sure. That's a big grey area there, a little bit though.
yeah, like if he's played, I'm pretty sure about 16, 17 games maybe has gone in the EFL season so far. So that would say he's reasonably getting
Getting
into
the
the team.
games, yeah.
I'm not aware of if he's actually starting or not. I don't actually know that. So that if he's not, he might just making appearances. But Pats are looking for a left back, like you said. They're going to have to shop around. They're going to be next best for players that want to go to them who are at the top of grade because obviously they're all going to go to top four teams. Left back, I think it's very specific. When you're looking for your own left-footed player, left-sided player, it's a slightly different market because obviously the percentage of left-footed players is not as high. Ideally, for balance, you don't want a right-footed player playing left back. It's not quite common. Um, if you look around the league, it's a bit hard to see who you'd go for and actually going to pay a fee for someone. I think there would be a fee involved in this one though, unless to do a loan deal, which is quite hard to know. But the fact that you've brought up all them points, I want to rate it reasonably high. If he's going to come home, he's probably going to go to Dundalk, really. Or sorry, to Pats, I mean. And he probably would get in at Pats if he's obviously been playing at an okay level. I think League One and League Two is similar level to League of Ireland. Obviously you have players here who are a bit above that level, but I think as a whole, averaged out, I think we're at between a top end League One, top end League Two, and I think that's the kind of if you're going to go into that market, you want to be looking at players that are top end in their leagues that could come here and shine. Like we've seen players throughout the years, the last few seasons, come over from them leagues, do reasonably well here on loan, and go back home and play well. Obviously, yeah, I'm going to put it quite high. I'm going to put it at a 7 out of 10. I think he reasonably good to happen, and I think it would be a good move for Pats and a good move for him if he can get into the team and start playing. Seven
Yeah,
out of
like
ten, yeah.
as you were saying there, I was doing looking up there, and he actually hasn't played. I just checked the last two games for Cheltenham. He hasn't played, so maybe he has returned to Brentford. Who knows? And
Yeah,
if
yeah,
that's
and
the
obviously,
case, then
yeah,
there might be something more in this. What did you say? 7 out of 10?
I think so. Yeah, I think 7 out of 10. I think if he's going to go anywhere, he's going to go to someone he knows, Stephen Kenny. He's going to probably go back to Dublin. He's going to go to a team he could play in. Pats are looking for a left back. The stars are aligning. Everything that you need for this to work out is happening. So 7 out of 10, yeah.
Brilliant. 7 out of 10 since Daz. Final one, and another one, I suppose, with Dundalk related here. Vinnie Leonard, 17-year-old central defender playing at the
Vinnie
Under
Leonard.
17 World
Yeah,
Cup, and a bit like Noonan, he's been linked by to Manchester United. And
he's a
again, this
top
is
player.
brilliant, I think, in terms of not even whether Leonard goes to Man United or Noonan goes to Man United or whatever club, whatever it is. The fact that they're being looked at by these clubs is absolutely brilliant. And Vinnie Leonard is a big chap for a 17-year-old. He's a good defender, really good central defender. As I said, only 17, so Dundalk will be hoping to have him next season in the Premier Division. But again, another player's done well at that, doing well, I should say, at that Under 17 World Cup, and one with great potential, it seems. And Man United tracking him as well.
Yeah. It's a great day when you're on a transfer show and you're thinking about Irish League players, going to these top clubs. It's been a long time since we've had an influx of really top young prospects that you really think can make it abroad. And Vinnie Leonard is someone I think everyone throughout the leagues are aware of. And I think, again, like Noonan, is someone I think every team in England and probably Scotland and probably elsewhere will be tracking.
Mm.
I think I just think I think a lot of people will probably agree with this. As a striker, it's a bit easier to break in than a defender because there's an awful lot of responsibility in the back to play, especially at a young age. Whereas as a striker, you're kind of at the lower end of responsibility and you can afford to bring on someone when you're losing. Oh, sorry, when you're winning a match, give them
Yeah,
a
I
20
know what you mean.
minutes,
You
30
don't really
minutes.
bring on a defender for a
No.
defender unless there's an
So
injury or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So if he's coming in and starting with Dundalk, which he has been doing, and actually getting 7 out of 10s every week and being one of their better players at the age of 17, he's obviously doing really, really good. Really, really good. And he's put a lot of hard work in. He's a big lad, like you said, and he's only going to get taller, and he's only going to get stronger, and he's only going to get faster,
Very dangerous to set pieces as well. He proved it
and
this
like
season.
brilliant.
Yeah.
I think Dundalk need to hold on to him if they can for this season. They just came back up. They don't want to be finishing bottom of the table again. Like they really
Well, the
need to
good
get
thing
in
is,
that.
if he does want to move to England, then they have until he's 18. So that's the good news.
Yeah, I'm not sure when his birthday is, but ideally you'd be hoping what Dundalk could do is, agree a fee with add-ons and stuff, and then keep him on loan till the following season if they can, because he's only 17. He'll be turning 18. I'm not sure when, but
I think he was 16 at some point this season, but I could be wrong.
no, I think you're
Now
right
hang
because
on,
I
he's
do.
18. He's actually 18 in March. So that's a
Right.
possibility. You could lose him then the summer window, which could be an issue.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
would be it'd be a huge issue for Dundalk,
yeah.
especially
I thought it was
if he's
further on than that, being
yeah,
honest.
like
Yeah.
if he's one of their better players, he's not going to be on a massive wage. He's probably only on the academy wage. Who knows what kind of and they're going to have to. Dundalk are going to have to think smart about this now. Like, well, where did they go with recruitment? They're going to lose him. They are going to lose him. And look, a huge talent, huge prospects, and in terms of linking him with Man United, these ones are quite hard to put figures on because Man United are such a massive team, and it's been a long time since we had Irish players move to Man United or Irish players move to Premier League teams from here. Really, it's not happening quite as much. But obviously, Man United must have their whole scouting team down watching this under 17s team who are doing fantastic, and we wish
Hoping
them
to go
all the very
further.
best now on Tuesday. All of that team is amazing. They're all so good. If does he go to Man United? I think it's no secret to Man United look for their players to be tall and strong and good and already playing a good level, and he's been doing that with his match ratings every week and getting into the team every week. Men's football, senior football, won a league, won a cup. He's done a lot for his age. Done an awful lot. And if he can go over there on trial and put in some bloody good performances,
Are
which I
you
think he
counting
will.
the Leinster Senior Cup here, are you?
Yeah,
Ah,
absolutely, I am. The one the boys were
that's what
doing.
Bowes fans do, isn't it?
Too weird. Yeah, I would. You'd count it too, only we pull out of it. Ooh. But yeah, linking into Man United, I'm going to put it as a 6 out of 10. I think he might go to Celtic instead. I think he might
Might
go to
do.
someone like
Celtic
that.
are interested, but we'll see in that one. Vinnie
Yeah,
Leonard to
yeah.
Manchester United's Daz 7 out of 10. Guys at home, let us know what you think about all these potential transfers. Give us a rating. Daz, brilliant as usual. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Thanks for watching.